Hey, what's up, my little TisaTellss? And what's up, Sussex Squad? Y'all sit down and pull up a chair. We need to talk about the gossip going on about Meghan Markle might have gotten herself a deal with Dior. Mama, if this is true, I know that's right. And get this, they're trying to say it's 20 million. Now, me thinks the palace is trying to poison the well, but we're going to talk about this. Also, we're going to talk about Charles's touching Father's Day tribute to Harry, which was him acknowledging that Harry shares his blood. Y'all, let's get into this because again, everybody's making mountains out of molehills. First of all, let's start with this Father's Day tribute. All Charles did was post a slideshow of him with his daddy who couldn't stand him, right? Camilla with her dad, who I don't know if he's still alive, probably not, but if he was, he'd be proud. His little crumpet, right? With her curds away, right? Apple crumpet, literally made it to be Queen of England. Great, right? How many lives, people did you destroy? Congratulations, right? But also, and this is the most interesting thing, there's a picture of William and Harry. Now, here's the thing, how you know that Charles is true to this, not new to this. I'm 100% sure that Charles literally didn't want to post anything with Harry, right? Or at the very least, don't forget, their problem was never with Harry. I mean, it is, but it's not. The problem was that Harry married a mixed race woman and had mixed race kids that tainted the royal bloodline. That's their problem. They will, every day you see articles about them begging for Harry to leave his wife and leave his children and come back home so they can smack him around. But again, like every dysfunctional family, you're always welcome to have a seat at the table. So I don't look at this as Charles doing any type of peace overture. I look at this as on brand. Harry alone, and Harry is always welcome at Charles's table. Now, not William's, because William's mad that Harry said, I'm not going to be your puppet anymore. But Harry is always going to be welcome at Charles's table. Again, why didn't you just put Harry and William and not the boys and their kids? Because listen, unlike William, who would be super, super messy, right? Just super messy, and post a picture of just like Harry without his kids or whatever. Charles knows I can't do that. I have to at least on the smell test look like, yeah, I'm mad, but I'm not an evil, hateful, vengeful person. Hence, I'll post Harry and William by themselves without their kids, but the point won't be made. Again, sorry guys, that was my Deliveroo. Listen, again, the point was made, but it's still a dumb point. Let's move on to Meghan and this Dior deal that got all the girlies in a tither. Okay, first of all, I know I don't live in UK, and I know I definitely don't come from blue blood aristocracy. But can you explain something to me? Why is Meghan getting a $20 million deal with Dior such a big deal? Aside from celebrating, go Meghan, because they are saying that the deal is worth $20 million, okay? Now, I have my thoughts on this $20 million deal. I honestly think that the British media is, two things could be happening. One, she could actually have a deal. We're going to talk about that, the good, the implications. But I feel like the British media is making stories up so they can disprove it. Or even more, because they're a bunch of haters, they get whiffs of what might be going on with Meghan, and then they try to poison the well. What? Meghan's getting a deal with Duncan Hines. They put it out there, and they're hoping all the derangers and all the hate groups and all this other stuff go over and poison the well so that Dior, Duncan Hines, or whoever, cake mix, my favorite type of cake mix, right? There is nothing like, if you're American, there is nothing like a Duncan Hines pineapple upside down cake mix with that yellow cake mix, or that's the flavor, yellow. Or if you do it with the chocolate Duncan Hines icing, oh my God, that is pure Americana. Give me those preservatives, give me the toxic chemicals. No cake comes close to that. But anyway, let me be serious, right? So anyway, I say all this to say, they're poisoning the well because they're hoping that if they put out, oh my God, Meghan might have an opportunity. They're hoping that there's online media backlash will be so much that whoever's offering the opportunity will be like, ugh, These people are toxic. We don't like the fan base they bring. We don't like the attention they bring. We don't want anything to do with this person. That's what they're hoping. If the Dior deal is actually happening, that's why they're leaking it. Because honestly, who cares if we know that Meghan's going to be a Dior girl? I mean, it's great news for me, but once the images drop is when everybody will get a tither, not just the fact of knowing, Meghan Markle. Like, people will forget that news by Tuesday. I believe that, again, only two things can be happening. You're making up the news so you can have something to talk about. Ooh, I heard that she's going to be president of the United States. And then they do a bunch of think columns on why she should never be president, right? But also, and if it is even a glimmer of truth, they're trying to let all the negative press fall so Dior will shy away. Now, let's just suppose this still is true, and I hope it is. Again, the reason why I think it's all cap is the fact that they're now placing this deal at $20 million. How convenient that the Spotify deal that fell through and the Dior deal that fell through, same amount. Me thinks you guys are making this up, but let's assume it's true. And if it is, it's great news. Can somebody tell me why all the UK papers are dragging Meghan, acting like she's low classy for being an endorsement? I'm confused. Meghan has a lot of money. Her and Harry are rich. Wealthy, maybe not, because as you guys know, wealth travels generations, but they're 100% rich. However, with their security cost, with this, with that, you can always use more money. It's the American way. I'm sorry, you can always use more money. When they talk about a life of service, how are you trying to make Harry and Meghan feel bad because they are actually working for their money? Because they're getting sponsorships. Where did they think their money was going to come from? You can't be serious. Do you expect us to do the life of service like William and Kate and Charles and Camilla? Because if that's true, then we need a life of service where we are paid for sitting on our butts. We are paid for doing nothing. See, that's the trick that they forget. It's not a life of service. They are billionaires because of this. They are one of the richest royal families in the world. They aren't doing this for free. They get free clothes, free hair, free makeup. People beg them to come. They get helicopters, private jets, transportations. None of this is free. Somebody's paying for it. But you expect Meghan and Harry to do the same thing, but without working? Just doing a life of service? Y'all, it's ridiculous if you think about it. And even then, okay, so you do a sponsorship. Sponsorships only work if people like you. Sponsorships only work if you have a fan base, right? And before people go and say, oh my God, but that's so below the royals. Are the royal families not the biggest sponsorship of Range Rovers? They have an they are the OG influencers. The tea, the drink, the tea the queen drinks. Isn't that sold, Harneys and like whatever? I'm being serious. The Range Rovers, they have an exclusive contract with the royal family. They are the OG influencers. There's even like, oh, this is officially approved by the royal, like whatever. They are the OG influencers. They trade their influence. They even trade their power for money. For God's sakes, Charles was accepting suitcases full of cash. And I'm sure William's doing the same thing because, baby, Carol Middleton's bills are deep, So again, why is this poo-pooed upon? Kate wears the same coats. Oh, Amelia Wixler, she's an influencer. She knows what she's doing. She gets free gifts. They all do. So why? Because Meghan is doing it out in the open. Yes, I am an influencer. I will be a campaign. People like me. I come a fan base. I can give Dior. Why are they looking down? What do they expect them to do? Sit on their butts and just take money from the states? It's a housing crisis and we're taking private jets. At least we know that Meghan's money, they're not taking from the poor, right? They're not taking from the poor. They're actually going out and earning that money. Admittedly, it's not a lot of money, but again, I can't understand for the life of me why it is such a bad thing to do. And honestly, if I was Meghan, I'll be real with y'all. And I love talking to y'all every single day. But if somebody offered me a $20 million thing, I would take it. Why would you take a podcast episode where you have to put out 2 podcasts a week, 52 weeks, when you are super busy and there's all these opportunities, when you can just get a Dior sponsorship that's paying you the same amount? You do a few photo shoots, you show up, you wear exclusively Dior, done, 20 million. I mean, Oh, you'd be dumb not to do that. And I can still put out the content I want to put out on my own time. I can still put out random podcasts. I can still have conversations with people, and it doesn't have to be motivated so much by man, please. Again, maybe let me know in the comments. Am I too American? Because to me, I'm like, good job. Great. I hope it's true. Because if it is true, first of all, ha 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 ha. But also just like, I don't know. I guess I was like, I guess I's too American. Listen. Anyway, Angela Levine shared her little withered prune hating comments when she said, if Meghan becomes Duchess Dior, she won't want a moaner around her. I don't know what that means. What's a moaner? Are they talking about Harry? Somebody in the UK, let me know what does a moaner mean? I'm confused. Are you trying to say like if she gets a $20 million deal, she won't want Harry around them? But she had the $20 million deal before and Harry was, you know what? Never mind. I also do want to say this, right? You know, there's been a lot of talk over Meghan either mutually parting ways or even losing that Spotify deal. You know, listen, Meghan and Harry, you guys know, I feel for them. I want them to win. But can we all agree it's okay to have losses? It's okay to have stalemates. It's okay to have a war of attrition. The only thing it's not okay in my mind to do is to never try, right? That's the only thing I think I couldn't live with. Lives are about ups and downs. It's creating a very toxic mindset for Harry and Meghan always win. Yes, they win a lot. Yes, they have God on their side. But even God tests us, humbles us, gives us new opportunities, lets us know that rejection is protection sometimes. I just don't understand. Like, it's okay to say that something that they tried didn't turn out the way they wanted. That's life. But the Meghan Markle I know, right? And not those people that stay up on that like gilded cage is going to go out and try again. It can't always be wins. And it's okay if it's not a win. Because the only true loss in life is if you don't try. And regardless of why Meghan left Spotify, she tried. And I think she did really well. And listen, if that was not a success, it is just one of the key components that's going to lead her to an even bigger success. But you guys, again, I just don't like the toxic, and I don't like that toxic mentality that you have to win all the time. I don't believe in that, you know? Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments, and I will talk to you later. Bye.